afternoon. It's Saturday, November the 15th. I am Bruce Leonard, of course, and this is Bruce Leonard Leans Left. While it's still legal. Still legal today. Things are happening hard and fast. There's trouble. Trouble in Trumpland. I've never seen someone so innocent, so he's innocent, but he fight tooth and nail to release these files. Today he said he didn't care. He didn't care if they released the files. Oh, he doesn't care. Okay, then release them. He's the president of the United States, right? He could release the files today. He says, "Oh, I don't care. They'll be released, but I'm not releasing them." And this did he or did he not blow Bill Clinton thing is pretty hilarious. What's up, Laura? First of all, I mean, we know Bill Clinton will accept a blowjob. For pretty much about anybody, probably. So that part of the story is not so hard to believe. Everyone assumed that because it said Bubba and that was Bill Clinton's nickname, that it was Bill Clinton they were talking about. But there's a man named Bubba Salisbury. He's the son of Odessa oil industry magnate Dick Salisbury. He's also a friend to Kash Patel and J.D. Vance, which means he's big and up in the mega world. And the scuttlebutt is that's the Bubba that he was blowing. I thought of something today. You know, Trump, like I said, Trump's never been shy about being a pervert about women. He's bragged and bragged over the years. There's lots of tapes of him talking about how much he loves young women. So what if what if his aversion to the files isn't because of the women? What if he doesn't care about the women? Right? What if what he doesn't want you to know is that the king of the alpha male has been out here sucking dicks? To me, that's almost a bigger strike in the mega world than if he slept with teenage girls, because you know you see Megyn Kelly's making excuses for it. So it's okay to sleep with them, but he can't let them know that he fucking sucks dicks. It's like, they're alpha males. Me and my friend at work were talking about it. I was like, you know, it makes sense. My friend said, you know, it makes sense. That's why he compensates so hard about women. He's like, oh, I love women. I love them so much. You know, it's like, because it's all a shell game to keep me from knowing that he really likes sucking on dudes' balls. It's like, as much as I like women, nothing's better than a big dick in your mouth. It's like, hello, Adrian's Toy Club. Thanks for joining us. All you new people, I don't know where you guys are coming from. It's great. But anyway, so he claims to be innocent, but he won't release the files. Apparently he's blowing a guy. Because they said they have pictures of it. But see, that's the other part that makes sense. They said, the email said, do you have pictures of Donald blowing Bubba? And so, if there's pictures, most likely, those pictures are in the file. Oh, I'm so sorry, Adrian. Adrian says her dog passed away. I'm sorry. That's terrible. It's one of the worst things that could ever happen. It is. I know. I put two down. I've been lucky that my dogs lived long lives. My first dog lived to be 15, and my second dog lived to be 13. So 28 years, 2 dogs. And it hurts when they go. It hurts. The one I have now, I must confess, I think about it. I'm like, oh, yes, good call there, Daniel. It is Heisenberg. The Chicken Brothers. That's one of the best TV shows ever made. That's why I can't understand. Vince Gilligan has a new TV show, and it's a sci-fi show. And I saw this thing. They said Vince Gilligan's put his hand into sci-fi. You know, and you're like, dude, Vince Gilligan helped create the X-Files. Like, he started in sci-fi. He's going back to his roots. So like, oh, he's dipping his toes in sci-fi. Like, no, he was. I said he made the X-Files. He's a sci-fi guy. It's like, it's not a leap of, you know. It's not like Trump sucking dicks. A leap. I'm sorry you lost your aunt as well. I'm sorry. Death is terrible. It's always terrible. But the longer you live, the more you experience it. I was unfortunate. I started to experience death at a very young age. And it's followed me like a cloud my entire life. I buried friends, family members, people who should be, you know, young people, professional colleagues. It's bad. That's why I hated people that said that the COVID was no big deal. Like, I knew a man named Larry that worked at the store in Vegas, and he was at work. He was at work. Next day he wasn't at work. They said, oh, Larry caught out sick. He's sick. Next day they said, oh, Larry got the COVID. The next day, Larry was dead. And they said, oh, it's just a flu. It was not just a flu. Because I don't know anybody that died from the flu. And I know there are people who do die from the flu, but I never known any. This guy was at work. 2 days later, he was dead. And people talk about, it ain't no big deal. It's like, no, it is a big deal. It was a big deal. Huh. Did you come here just to tell me that? Right? I'm not the guy that worships the man who diddles little girls and possibly sucks dicks. The lengths that you'll twist yourselves to convince yourself that this man's not a piece of shit is mind-blowingly unbelievable. Today, he was attacking Thomas Massey about his wife dying. Because Thomas Massey got remarried. And then Trump's like, oh, that seems a little soon, his wife dies. Like, what a piece of shit. What kind of fucking person would bring that up? I tell you who, a soulless shitbag person who's not even a human being. And you worship this man. Because you're probably a soulless shitbag yourself. And you need representation. I get it. No, what's happening now is, like I said, he's scrambling because he knows he can't stop this. I told you, I've been saying this the whole time. They're trying to prolong the inevitable. There's more than 80% of people in America want the Epstein files to be released. That means there's going to be a lot of pressure on these congressmen. And like I said, there's going to be a lot of Republicans who've got to vote yes. And it's going to piss off Trump. It don't matter. Because I said, they got to go back to their constituents. Tell them why they voted to protect pedophiles. Why are we even having this discussion? This is not a partisan discussion. Right? This is a human being discussion. Do you believe like Megyn Kelly? Megyn Kelly, here, this is true. Megyn Kelly said that young trans people can't be trans at 15 because they can't consent. Then in the next breath, she says that these 15-year-old, well, they're 15-year-old girls, they're not 8, you know. So they can consent to fucking rich older dudes, but they can't consent to be trans. I mean, what kind of logic is that? That's the thing about MAGA and the right wing. They don't have any logic. There's not, it's all emotional bullshit. None of it is rooted in like reality or facts or, you know, what truth. There is no truth in the right wing anymore. I mean, Jesse Waters lies his ass off every single night. He creates bullshit stories. Propaganda. That's what they're swimming, propaganda. The White House page is like it's like North Korea now. And I'm not kidding. The bullshit that they put out on that page It's like I said, North Korea level gaslight bullshit. Like, oh, prices are down and everything is. So, riddle me this, right? If the tariffs are so good, right? Such a good idea. You gotta have these tariffs. And you don't pay those tariffs. The other countries pay them. Then why is he taking the tariffs off of the food and stuff? You see that? He's removing tariffs. Coffee, bananas, beef, all the food, the groceries. Why? Because the grocery bills are out of control. Even though he says they're down. Well, if they're down, why are you taking the tariffs? He lies constantly about everything, and people just eat it up like it's. And I said before, if you knew a person in your personal life that lied to you like this, you wouldn't have them in your life. You'd cut them out. Because no one can lie this much. This whole existence is a lie. I mean, look at him. How long do you think it takes if he gets up in the morning to spray himself with whatever that shit is? He sprays himself. Put on all that pancake makeup, fix that fucking coif. Quite a while, I would imagine, to make it look presentable. I'd love to see him he gets out of bed in the morning, he looks like McCracken from Kingpin at the end with his hair all fucking. How we got to this point? With this soulless scumbag fucking clown from reality television running the world, murdering people. They're about to start a war. That's what's coming next. You know this, right? That, like, to try to hide this Epstein file, he's going to start a war with Venezuela. And be like, well, you can't talk about this anymore. We're at war. It's like. It tells you the state of human beings when I'd say it's over half you can find, right? Over half of the Trump administration or people that simp for them on television who said terrible things about Trump. They were just saying last night with Scott Jennings, who I fucking hate, you know that, but he was on CNN and on one of those panels, and the guy was like, said this thing about Trump, and he goes, "Isn't that terrible, Scott?" He's like, "You know who said that?" He was like, "Scott Jennings," right? Because Scott Jennings rode over like a bitch and sold his soul just like J.D. Vance. He was against Trump. And then he was sitting there like with this little spoiled baby fucking Scott Jennings look that he always has on his face. He was sitting there like this, and he goes, and he's like, "You voted for Trump," and he goes, "Yeah, the alternative was so much worse. I couldn't." And like, what are you talking about? The alternative was so much worse. Kamala Harris is worse than this. I don't even know that much about Kamala Harris, but she can't be worse than this. She seems like a self-made woman for the most part. A lawyer and a prosecutor. Trump is nothing but a trust fund baby who won't even show you his college transcripts because they suck so bad. He's an idiot. He says, "Oh, I used these IQ tests. Oh, I did so much better than anybody in the world could ever do. No one knows what a magnet is." It's like, yeah, because you're a fucking moron, bro. You're an idiot. He said no one knows what a magnet is, really. No one knows. It's a mystery, but the metal's attracted to it somehow. I don't know how that works. It's like a magic. Some kind of witchcraft, you know, that's it. That's the problem with these people. They don't understand science. That's why they think climate change is a big myth, a big hoax. Even though you can see it all happening right in front of you. I said that before too. I said, well, it's same as climate change, just like what I said with Trump. You go, well, at a certain point, enough shit will happen that's crazy and has never happened before that these people will wake up and go, well, maybe we're wrong and it is a climate change. And you're, nope. Remember last year or whatever, there was like tornado after tornado after tornado after tornado. It's It seemed like every other day it was like tornadoes fucking all over the fucking country. That never happens. These fucking last few hurricanes were bigger than ever before. If you have just blasting things, everything in their path, they're like, oh, this never happens. The climate change is still a myth. Just saw Lower Angle today. The climate cult is meeting at the. See, here's the problem. The real problem is there's now entire industries where they make millions and millions of dollars peddling this bullshit. And they can't just wake up today and say they're wrong about everything. This is why they're dug into this deluded fantasy world that they live in, because there's no way to break the spell, because there's so much money involved. So many people making millions of dollars, run these podcasts and all this bullshit. Laura Ingraham, same thing. She's been on Fox News every night at 9 o'clock or whatever for the last fucking 20 years or however long I can remember. Liberals. It's the most annoying shit I've ever seen. But anyway. It's a whole industry, like I said. It's a whole fucking thing. There's no way to break the spell because there's too much money involved in it. There's people making millions and millions and millions of dollars selling you bullshit. And they can't, like I said, they can't just get up tomorrow and say, I was wrong about everything, and if we don't fix this now, the world, no. They're going to ride that train. It's just like capitalism. Right? We'll ride the train until the earth is ground to nothing. And there's not a single dollar they could squeeze out of it anymore, but there's also not a sustainable planet for people to live on anymore. But that's what will happen if we drive this system all the way to its inevitable conclusion, which is everything is sucked out, like a fucking vacuum. And, like I said, and they've done it with everything. The coal, oil, anything. They rape the earth to get the money, and goddamn fuck it, how, what kind of fucking destruction. It's like that Gold Rush show. You ever watch that show? Bill used to watch that show. My stepfather, who passed away, he used to watch that show all the time, right? You ever watch it? These guys are gold miners, right? So what they do is they get a claim, and you file with the state of Alaska or whatever for a strip of land, and it's called a gold claim. Then they bring in bulldozers and fucking, like I said, this big machine that sifts through dirt, and they get bulldozers and dump trucks, and they just take this piece of land and they raise it. They just fucking dig up all these big giant holes into the ground, and they take its dirt and they dump it onto this conveyor belt. That this machine filters the dirt and gets the gold out of it, right? So it's in the beginning of the show, they're like, here we are in a claim, and it's like pristine, Alaskan wilderness land. And then during the show, they'll tear down, cut down all the trees, and they said run bulldozers over the whole thing till at the end it looks like a nuclear bomb went off on that land. And then they'll go, look, and they hold up a mason jar like filled with gold dust. And maybe get a couple nuggets, but mostly it's like flakes. And they're like, we got 12 ounces of gold. And you look behind you and you're like, dude, that's like a square mile of land is just fucking, it's been raped. It's ruined. So you could get that little jar of gold. And it's a real good metaphor for the way we live. That's how human society is. It's just like in the 1800s, there's whaling. They had to stop whaling because they killed all the whales. With wind sailboats and fucking harpoons and guys on canoes, they killed all the whales, almost all of them. Like, they said, well, they got to stop whaling, or else there will be no more whales. The buffalo used to be millions and millions of buffalo all across the West. You know, the plains of the Midwest and the West, it was just filled with buffalo, right? And we killed them all in less than 100 years. Shot so many of them, just left them laying there to rot. I was driving around the country doing comedy for the last, few years before I came home. Across the country, said about 3 times. And I was all over the country, places I had never been, like those places, like Wyoming and Montana, and there's so much wide open nothing there. And you're like, I was thinking to myself, why couldn't they have just let the Indians have, like, there's no one living there. Why couldn't they have just let them have this part of the country for themselves and have their buffaloes there, and they could live the way they had lived before, and it wouldn't even be bothering nobody because there ain't nobody there. and it really made me sad. It was like, dude, I was asked my friend who was driving with me. I was like, man, can you believe that they killed all those people? They killed all the buffaloes to take this land, to do nothing with it. Half of it's empty. There's nothing there. You're like, dude, Indians could just be living out there on them plains. The old style way that they used to live. Like I said, leave them alone and they'd have enough buffaloes to think. But see, that's not the point. The point is domination, just like now. These people, that's what they think. These white Christian people, they think that they should dominate the world and society, and if people doesn't fucking live the way they want them to, then they're wrong. Or they're savages, or they're sinners, or whatever, It's a coercion. They want to control the system. Can't have, idiots living on the plains, because then regular people like us, some of us would be like, hey man, I'd rather go live with them. That seems like a better life than this fucking rat race we've created for ourselves here. And bootlicking fucking human centipede with fucking, one guy up another guy's ass, up another guy's ass, up another guy's ass. It's like when the boss, you work at a place, like when the big bosses come, the big ones, then all the management in the store gets in a line, like the human centipede. And you're like, I always say, man, I hope that guy doesn't turn too fast and break one of these guys' necks because their head's up their ass so fucking far. That's what Trump administration is, right? It's a bunch of nutlickers. A bunch of people. I've never seen anything like that. I really haven't. The loyalty to one man. And how many people have been forced out of politics? Remember they made Senator Al Franken resign because he took a picture with that girl on the... Woman was asleep with like a bulletproof vest on and a helmet. And he was a comedian before he was a senator, so he took a picture of himself like looking like he's going to grab her boobs, but she's wearing a fucking bulletproof, flak jacket. It was a joke. And Republicans were like, oh my God, he's got to go, he's got to resign. And Democrats are so soft, they were like, yeah, you better just resign. And he did. Pretty crazy when you think about it now, isn't it? He resigned for that. Trump's like, I'll grab him by the pussy. People are like, whoa. That's my guy, Trump has erased all bars of decency, humanity. Trump is a zero-sum game. Power. That's all. And trolling. He's a troll. He's going to say, provocative, hateful things on purpose. Because it gets people riled up, gets people talking. And that's all he cares about. People talking about him. You don't think we're gonna go to a war with Venezuela because, like I said, they just moved the big aircraft carrier. The biggest aircraft carrier we have is right now is down there now. You don't move all that shit down there, you ain't gonna do nothing. It shit costs a lot of money to move around. You know, like they're too fucking stupid. And he's like, I authorized the CIA to do covert operations in Venezuela. Well, they ain't covert anymore, are they? You fucking just told them. Like a couple weeks after he said that, they're like, oh, they captured some guys, CIA guys down there trying to fucking, do something. Like, well, he fucking gave them away because he can't keep his fucking mouth shut. The man is an idiot. How we got here, I don't know. And like I said before, if the tariffs were such a good idea, then why is he taking the tariffs off? Because it was a dumb fucking idea. And it raises prices. No matter what he says. Prices are up. And the damage is done now. I bet you now he takes a tariff off. They won't, you know how it is when the prices go up, they don't bring them back down. They're never going to be the prices they were before. Before he jacked them up with the tariffs. And then how do you make that happen? Remember when Kamala Harris was talking about she was going to investigate the grocery companies, the meat packers, and all the food for colluding and raising prices, making prices higher. And everybody said, "Oh, that's communism." And now I guarantee you that's what he's going to do. That's what he's going to do. He already said for them. I don't know how they can have all these investigations because every other day, remember, he was like, I'm commanding them to investigate the meat packers. And then he's like, I'm commanding them to investigate James Comey and these other people. And then yesterday he was like, I command them to investigate Epstein's ties to Bill Clinton, etc., etc. Now here's the game. Okay. Now he says, oh, we need to investigate these Epstein ties to Bill Clinton and people like Democrats and blah, 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 blah. Right? And there's a reason why he's doing that. So that when they vote to release the files, he'll say, oh, well, we can't release the files because they're part of an active investigation into things that have already been investigated hundreds of times. Remember when Pam Bondi? Remember when they made them binders and they brought all the podcasters, all the right-wing influencers down to the White House and they said, here's the Epstein files, batch number 1, and they gave them out, right? Remember that? And it turned out to be a bunch of shit that had already been out in the public, so it was nothing new. It's just a big reality TV show, So, and then remember, she came out and said, there is no list. We investigated everything and there's nothing here and we're closing this case. Right? She said that. And now Trump yesterday is like, I order them to investigate Epstein's ties to Bill Clinton, J.P. Morgan Chase, and all this blah, 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 blah. It's like, oh, you mean the stuff that she said she already investigated all of it and the case was closed? So you're going to investigate the investigation of the investigation of the investigation? Now that means one of two things, right? It means, one, she sucks at investigating stuff. Right? It means that. Or it means that they're completely full of shit. Or both. I think those are the only two possibilities. She closed this case, which made the files eligible to be released in the first place. See, people always keep saying, well, why did Joe Biden and the Democrats? Now, I agree that they didn't bring it up as much as they should have. They should have been talking about it, but they didn't. But they couldn't bring out the files because they were under court seal because there was investigations and FBI things going on. See, Trump created the situation by where that they could be released by firing James Comey's daughter, who was running that investigation at the SD New York, right? Remember, he fired her. Then they put in a bunch of nutlickers and they closed all the cases that she was working on, right? Because that's why the files couldn't be released, because they were investigating people. They were going to bring charges against other people, apparently. Well, he fired her because she's related to James Comey. And then some other people resigned inside that office. And then they went in there, the nutlickers, and they closed all the cases, right? Then Pam Bondi said, we have nothing more to investigate here. We're closing this case. Well, once they closed all the cases, the files became eligible to be released to the public. See, that's what I'm saying is, these people are evil. They're corrupt. But they're also very fucking stupid. And most of these pitfalls that they come into are because they're fucking stupid. Like the tariffs. The tariffs did nothing but raise prices everywhere after Trump said he was going to bring down prices. And see, he doesn't care about that. The tariffs are leverage for him to get what he wants out of these other countries. For example, Vietnam right now. Did you know this? You know, they said, oh, we made a deal with Vietnam. You know, part of that deal in Vietnam is a $1.5 billion Trump golf resort. See? He used the tariffs to leverage them to make them, to force them to let him build a fucking shitty Trump resort somewhere on the coast of Vietnam. And no one cares. He's the most corrupt piece of shit to ever be the President of the United States. Ever. It's not even close. I mean, there's been some pretty corrupt assholes, but this guy takes the cake. And again, I said, Trump, you can find tapes of Trump bragging about young girls. Those tapes where he brags about how he busted into the teen pageant, into the locker room so he could watch them dress, you know, put on their bikinis or whatever. He's perving around. And he's always been proud of being a perv. He used to call, this is true, I don't remember the name, but he used to call this radio show in New York with a fake name and tell stories about how Donald Trump was such a player, got so much pussy. I swear to God. And it was him. It was him pretending to be someone else talking about himself. And this is true. You don't have to, there's tapes of it. Like, you think that I was making this up, but no. There's no need to make up things about Donald Trump because as bizarre and stupid as it can get, that's it. That's what it is. What kind of person calls in a radio show under an assumed fake name to talk about themselves and how much pussy they get? And again, it gives credence to my friend's theory that all of this is a big ploy to cover up the fact that he really likes sucking dicks. He doesn't want you to find that out. I can't let them know I suck dicks. But, and here's the other part of it. Remember when he said, I could shoot anybody? On Fifth Avenue, I wouldn't lose no votes. I think that what you've seen up until now would prove that out to be true. Right? Because he's already murdered people. He's already murdered like almost 80 people, I think. Off the coast of Venezuela or in the Pacific Ocean. Just bobbing the shit out of these boats. He's killed almost 80 people. right? And then nobody cares. Mega doesn't care, right? But if they found out he sucked a dick, he'd lose in voters. It's like, dude, their priorities are fucked up. Like, oh, I don't mind murder, but that gay shit is going too far. That's like, I don't know, man. It's like, I can't wrap my head around it. As I said, their whole bullshit image is built in this fake machismo, right? That they're the alpha males, and they're going to reestablish order, and then they're going to... Except it's the worst. Like I said, I do wonder what happened to these people. Something happened to them in their lives that made them hollow, meatbag, soulless fucking pieces of shit who are insecure and desperate for validation. I've never seen anything like it. And I've been performing my whole life. People say, oh, you're desperate for something. Like, no, I just like performing. Entertaining people. And the self-expression part of it. That's most of it, really, is I got a lot of shit inside me that I want to get out. I need to get out. And if I don't get it out, I'm going to go insane. Like, my brain doesn't stop working ever. It just keeps going and going. And, like, I've tried to numb it with alcohol. I've tried to take drugs and stop it. Like, it doesn't stop. Constant thoughts. It stops when I'm asleep. Sometimes I'll be dreaming, and so it's still going anyway. But braid is always on high, and I haven't ever figured out a way to make that stop. I used to read a lot of books. That helps. I mean, I never tried. People say like meditation, all that shit. I've never tried it, but I said I can't go to the gym and things like that. It's boring to me. It's like, man, I'm like, oh god, this fucking just drudgery. Like, I know it's good for me. So I said I don't mind working like physical labor, because you're doing something, and then when you're doing something, your mind doesn't race so much because you're thinking about what you're doing. But when your mind is always in the red and you're just sitting around, you're gonna go insane. Like this, we gotta write, or I said I gotta write, or I gotta do this, or I gotta do stand up, or I gotta make music. I gotta do something, or I'm gonna go fucking crazy. and my life was perfectly set up. It didn't have to come over. It was back to like sitting here, like, oh, I got nothing to do. That's why I'm busy all the time. People are like, man, you're busy all the time. You're always doing something. It's like I can't exist any other way. It's the only way I know how to live. And I said, if I sit around too much, my brain will start fucking turning around in circles. And people always say, I'll go to therapy or a psychiatrist. Like, they can't stop my brain from. So I said, I guess they can give me some drugs and make me a zombie. Like, I don't want that. And it's not depressing like it used to be. Like, I used to have depression, real bad. I feel terrible all the time. And, I grew out of, like I said, I had a death wish, and I grew out of that. You can grow out of it if you don't die. I was just lucky that I didn't carry it to fruition. Like, goddamn, I tried. But my point being, there is a light at the end of it if you can get there. I'm not nearly as angry and as I used to be. I mean, every now and then it comes out because I'm just a movie person. But I used to be angry all the fucking time, man. I'd be walking around punching fucking stop signs and shit. Just mad at the world. and screaming in metal bands. Ah! I meant every fucking word of it too. Pissed off. Look at this world we live in. That's what is was always frustrating too. Is like I don't think people are listening to the things I'm saying. You just think, oh, you change the world somehow. Like when you're young and naive, it's like, and now I'm older. I'm like, I know we ain't gonna change the world. This is we're just observing it at this point and commenting. The same thing though. If you can reach one person, then you did something. You know, if you can make one person think about something they didn't think about before, then you did something. All these fucking idiots that think that's the problem is the internet creates a situation where everybody thinks they know everything. And most of what they know is complete bullshit, but they don't know enough to know it's bullshit, so they buy into it. Like Benny Johnson. Right? Benny Johnson, he's running around now like he really is trying to fill that Charlie Kirk role. Because I don't know if you noticed this, but all those right-wing guys, they're all scrambling to suck up Charlie Kirk's audience because there's it's an audience of millions of people. So they're all like scrambling over his grave to try to get the numbers, that he left behind, because now they're open. They could become Tim Pool watchers or Benny Johnson watchers. So Benny Johnson's been doing Turning Point USA, but Benny Johnson was paid by Russia. It's a fact. How do you get the money to set up that show? He got millions of dollars from Russia. These people listen. We're patriots. You're listening to a Russian propagandist. Now, if you think that Russia believed that what Benny Johnson's really working hard for America, and he really cares about America, that's why we're going to give him millions of dollars, then you're even fucking dumber than I thought. Why are they giving that money? Because they need those people to divide us. It's a divide and conquer strategy where they make us destroy ourselves so they don't have to fuck with us. And it's worked. Look at what's happened to us. Look where we are now. It's actually a brilliant plan. And people have had the pieces right in front of them all this time, and they still say, it's a hoax, it's not real. If it's not real, then why is Putin spending millions and millions of dollars funding these people? They must think it's worth the money. And they've got their money's worth. Look, they got a president. They got their own puppet president. It's worked like a charm. People in this country, we're not smart enough, collectively, to get through this, I don't think. Like I said, Trump's playing the old card of like I said, opening up an investigation of the investigations that they closed because they said there was nothing else to investigate. But now all of a sudden there's more to investigate. Why? Because they don't want to release these files. Meanwhile, he'll say, I don't care if they're released, but he won't release them. It's a gaslight shell game. It's like they're always playing. He's totally innocent of all the charges against him for having, like, the boxes of classified shit in the shitter, that. People say, oh, he's innocent of election fraud in Georgia or whatever. It's like, dude, he's on tape. Remember he called the governor of Florida and was like, I just need you to find me 14,000 votes. It's on tape. Oh, he's innocent. He's not innocent of any of this shit. He did collude with Russia. He did hang out with Epstein. He did take those classified documents to the shitter. And then you know what happened? Now, a lot of people don't know this. They gave him like 10 chances to return those documents. They didn't just go down there and raid Mar-a-Lago. They said, "Hey, can you return these documents, please? Like you shouldn't have them. They're classified information. They need to go back to the archives." He ignored them. He sent another thing. "Hey, can you please return these documents? Just return them. We don't want to have to come and get them. Just do." 10 times he ignored them. Finally, they raided his house. He's like, "Oh, they're raiding my house." It's like, dude, they fucking told you 10 times. Just give them back. I guarantee you, he dug out whatever those papers were he had. He's dug them out already since he was president. They took them back. That's a petty fucking prick. They said, "So yours are mine." People put up with this. Half the White House is down raised. You know, I saw a thing that said, the White House is a pretty old building. And that east part that he tore down that was built, I think, when the Roosevelts were president, so in the 1940s, had asbestos all in it. They're just knocking it down. I know you know about asbestos, but the fibers get into the air, and then you breathe them in. And then you get, I think it's called fibromyalgia or something, where they attack your lungs, and you get, it's not cancer, but it's kind of like cancer, and it makes you so you can't breathe and shit, and you have a horrible, as you get older, it just gets worse and worse, like black lung for miners or something, right? So he's got all his people out there. Working there, there's fucking asbestos fibers all up in the air. They're all breathing it in. I bet you half of his administration dies of asbestos, because he's a fucking idiot. And they're fucking idiots for fucking following this idiot. And I don't feel sorry for any of them if they fucking breathe in the asbestos. It's like, you're all so fucking stupid. It can't happen fast enough. Like, if I could, I'd get like an 8-ball of asbestos fibers and have them all do a bump. It can't happen fast enough. They get rid of these fucking people. Oh no, now they'll call me a terrorist. He threatened to take him out with asbestos. It's like, well, he already did that for himself, didn't he? That idiot's out there on the lawn lying his ass off. What's his name? Hassard, or I don't know. He's such a pathetic piece of shit. He's one of those guys you see him and you go, "What a weasel." They all like Mike Johnson. Just looks like a weasel, right? You see him, you go, "This guy's a fucking weasel, man." I noticed one thing though. In the very beginning, that chick who lies on every day, what's her name? Caroline Levitt. She had a big cross that she wore all the time in the beginning. Big cross was on her neck at all times, right? And that cross is gone. Have you noticed that? She hasn't been wearing it for quite a while now. I wonder why that is. I do wonder. I'm like, she used to wear it all the time, like out, so you'd see it. Now she doesn't have it on ever. Like, what happened to your crucifix? It started burning you because you were lying so much. It's like, ooh, let's get hot. Not nearly as hot as the fucking eternal hell you're going to, if that's what you believe in. The fact that they can convince themselves that they're good people. Read this. This is a true post from the Department of Homeland Security. Find it. This is a Homeland Security Twitter page. It says protesters were arrested at an ICE facility in Chicago. And this is the official government Twitter page. Womp womp, cry all you want. These criminal illegal aliens aren't getting released. Like clockwork, violent rioters have arrived at the Broadview ICE facility to demand the release of some of the worst human beings on planet Earth. Get a job, you imbecilic morons. This is your government talking to you like 12-year-olds. Then the emotional level of like 12-year-olds. Like, it's like high school again. Wait, what'd you read that book for, boy? You think you're smart? Like, these are the people who are running the world now. These people voted for this. That's the part I can't wrap my head around. The people chose this. Yes, mesothelioma. I'm sorry. Fibromyalgia is like something that women get, I think. Thank you, Ken. Yes, mesothelioma. That's what they get if you get when you breathe asbestos. And Trump just fucking throwing the asbestos all over the fucking White House lawn. And not one of these people that works for him was like, hey, wait a minute, man. There's asbestos in there. Isn't there? There's like a way you got to tear it down so that it's safe. Nope. He said, I want it down. They said, bring in the bulldozer. Boss wants it down. Because they're all nut-licking morons, bro. That's the other thing. You ever work someplace and you go, there's these stupid decisions coming down from the top. You're like, who are these people working in a corporate office? They don't know anything about the business they're running. You're like, you're cutting your fucking... we had a $5 rotisserie chicken, right, on Thursdays. I'm sorry, $6. $6 rotisserie chicken, right, on Thursdays for the last several months. Can't remember. And we got this list of all these sales, new sales. And these sales are going off, right? They're like $6 rotisserie chicken off, right? I was like, oh, this is a bad idea. There's people come in for the $6 chicken, and they buy other shit. It's like it helps drive sales. When you tell customers you don't have the $6 chicken anymore, they're gonna get pissed off, and then they might go somewhere else. Kroger, got a $6 chicken, Kroger's. It's like, let's go over there. It's fucking stupid. So what happened? It was 1 week. Next week, it's just yesterday, or I'm sorry, Thursday. They're like, oh, $6 chicken's back on. You're like, who's making these decisions in the corporate office? Again, some jerk off that went to college. He's got a business degree, right? Okay. Now you got to run this grocery business. You know anything about the grocery business? Nope. Got me a business degree, though. It's like... It's fucking stupid. And again, who's that person? It's probably some rich person's kid. That's what I mean. That's the class thing, right? All of us that know about the grocery business, though, we're stuck down here at the bottom. Unless you decide that you will lick another man's balls. It's hard enough that you can get out of there. Meantime, they don't know anything about it. Like I said, the optimal situation would be that people work their way up through the company, so that by the time the guy gets into the corporate office and he becomes the president of marketing or vice president of the company, or even the president of the company, right? That he knows how the business fucking works from the bottom up. You wouldn't be making dumbass decisions that fuck everything up at the bottom. And you know who's at the bottom? The people that buy your shit. The money that's coming into your business that you make money. Right? And every time you fuck with that, you're fucking with your money. It's fucking stupid. Look, here's one, for instance. I have these kosher wines, right? They're the I'm not going to say the brands because it's a thing, but I had these kosher wines that I sold last year at Hanukkah, and it was a Cabernet and a Chardonnay, right? So there's a choice, and we have Jewish people that shop in our store, so I just kept them. After the holidays, I kept those kosher wines, and I've been selling them all year, right? So one day, they brought me all the kosher wine. They said, "It don't ring up anymore." What do you mean it don't ring up anymore? It's not in the system. Just dropped out, right? So I wrote the corporate office. I'm like, "Hey, excuse me. It says here that that they're telling me that my kosher wine doesn't ring up anymore. I need you to turn this back on because we have Jewish customers and they've been buying this wine." And they sent me back to corporate. "Oh, it's been discontinued." Me, it's been discontinued. Well, that's the only kosher wine I had. We have Jewish customers. I'm like, so I email them back, and I'm like, it's close to Hanukkah now, right? So I'm like, I email them back and go, so what does this mean? We're not going to be selling wine for Hanukkah? Like, what's the deal? And just turn them back on. And he emails me back again and goes, "Oh, well, we have this kosher wine, and it's approved for your store, so if you want, you can get this one. It's a Moscato." I'm like, why would you say you didn't want Cab or Chardonnay? Moscato? That's like black people's wine. I mean, not to be stereotypical, but I'm saying most of the people that drink Moscato are black people. Or women. I mean, women drink it too, but mostly black people drink Moscato. They like sweet shit. And I just know that from selling wine. And from hanging around a bunch of black people. Moscato's their favorite wine. But the point being, he's fucking yourself and pissing off your customers. Making some jerk off in the corporate office. It's like, whatever. Just cut this wine off. It's like, in the meantime, they were the ones that sent me the wine initially. I didn't order it. They sent it for Hanukkah. They're like, "Here's some kosher wine for Hanukkah." It was like, okay, cool. And then I just kept selling it. And now they're like, "Oh, it's cut off. We got Moscato." It's like, they don't want Moscato, bro. Might as well get Manischewitz. It's like, we don't even have that. I don't know if you know what Manischewitz is, but it's a Jewish wine. It's like that grape juice they give you at church. Not kidding. It's like, well, just grape juice. It's not like wine in a traditional sense. Anyway, like a wine connoisseur would want to enjoy wine. You know, it's like a Kool-Aid with alcohol in it. Which I used to drink it sometimes when I was younger because, it tastes pretty good. It tastes pretty good. But I also used to, like, pour vodka and Mountain Dew and shit. Oh, young man from Kentucky. I just drink anything. Not very sophisticated. Like, we drink straight. You ever had moonshine? It's like drinking straight gasoline. It's like... so strong sometimes it literally make people go blind. It's like, hey, we drinking it right out of a jug. It's like, so anyway, I had to get out of here because I'll go over to Laura's Pizza and watch new South Park, hopefully. I don't know what's going to happen. I said, I hate predicting the future here because I do it I just do it inadvertently all the time. I hate it, but I'm telling you now, we're going to war in Venezuela. So buckle up. he wants to do anything he can to distract and to hide these files. He don't want to show these files. So keep up the pressure. Call your congressperson. Write them. Email them. Tell them. You need to vote yes, and we're not fucking backing off until we get these files. Period. Because it ain't just Trump. It's the whole system of these pedophile pieces of shit needs to go. All these rich, powerful people that think that they can do whatever they want because they're rich and powerful. People got to take back the power in this country. And I said, and this is the way to do it. We don't need a civil war. We just expose them all for what they are and fucking get rid of them. Banished, like they banished Prince Andrew. I'm sorry, he's not a prince anymore. Well, they banished Andy. He ain't even Andrew anymore. He's just Andy, who lives in the cottage in the back of the property. Because he's a pedophile piece of shit. And again, if you're new to this show and you hung out here the whole time, thank you so much. Please tell your friends, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. I'm here every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Daniele was sick again. I made him promise he'll go to the doctor if he doesn't feel better tomorrow. Hopefully he'll be back next week. And thank you. I am Bruce Leonard, and I'll be back Tuesday at 6. Thank you. Go out tonight and enjoy your weekend. I love you. Good night.